Turkey Day or not, it's still Mounjaro injection day. So before we head out to visit family, here's my quick GLP-1 update.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain.
Hey everyone, welcome to Slow and Steady with Andi. I'm Andi, and by the time you see this video, it will be past Thanksgiving. But at the time I'm recording this, today's Thanksgiving. I'm doing my Mounjaro injection a little bit early today because we are going to be heading out to see my family today, and so I want to take care of that, get that done. Definitely don't want to miss that. Trying to stay super consistent, especially on the holidays, because it just helps me stay in my GLP-1 Mounjaro routine. If you are new here, I do a weekly update that takes you through my next injection for the week, as well as just sharing how the previous week went. Also, I'm currently on 7.5 milligram of Mounjaro, and today's going to be my fourth injection on that dose. So let's talk about last week. Let's get into it. You guys, so far on this 7.5, I am loving it. The first week was a little bit slow, and I was like, oh man, I really hope that, moving into 7.5, I'm not going to be let down. But it was just a slow first week because week two, that food noise started to really shut down, appetite suppression, just started to feel all those great feels again. And now in week three was even better. What I'm really liking about being on this dose so far is my side effects are just almost none. Or I should say that the side effects that could be uncomfortable have been non existent. The only side effect that I'm experiencing is pretty much the fatigue, and that hits me not so much the day after injection day, but on Saturday. So my injection days are on Thursday, and so every Saturday I tend to be pretty sleepy, which is why I actually moved my injection day to Thursdays. Initially, I was taking my injections on Tuesdays. Yeah, Tuesdays. And then I would be like so tired throughout the workday, Thursday, sometimes into Friday. But again, on 7.5, I don't have like any more of the nausea that I had a little bit the first week. I wouldn't say for the first month or 2 months on the 5 milligram, I had headaches. I had crazy, I had a lot of the sulfur burps that you may have heard about, very gassy. My husband can attest to that. But since being on 7.5, I'm not having any of that. So it is great. But I am having all the good feels. The food noise, or what food noise? It is just silence in my head. It is great. Today, Thanksgiving, I had a little bit of everything. And when I say a little bit, I had a little bit of everything. And my downfall on Thanksgiving, or my favorite thing on Thanksgiving, is stuffing. And I had a little bit, and I was good. I am good. I feel so satisfied. I feel happy that I have my Thanksgiving meal. My blood sugar didn't spike at all, which was fantastic. For those of you that might not know, I am type 2 diabetic. Here is my Dexcom G7 that keeps track of my blood sugar, and that is really the reason why I started on GLP-1. But of course, was hoping to get that wonderful, magical weight loss that could potentially come with it. I've been nothing but so happy that I took a chance on being on this medication. So, one of the other things that I notice are different compared to when I was on the 2.5 and the 5 is that my appetite suppression, as well as the food noise being silent, are lasting me all the way through to my next injection day. So that is great. I hope that this keeps up. Of course, I haven't even been on it a month. Today is going to be my fourth injection. I'm really hoping though that this is just kind of that dose that is my dose, and I can stay on it for quite a while, because really the goal, or really for me, the hope is to be able to just stay on one of the lower doses for as long as possible. Because you think about it, if you increase doses too quickly, you get to a point where eventually, I mean, these only go up, Manjaro and Zepbound only go up to 15 milligram. If you rush to that 15 milligram too quickly, you have nowhere else to go. So I'm just trying to really take advantage of being on this 7.5. I'm working even harder to just have better habits, to develop even better habits, to just get stronger, um, continuing to get exercise every day, and just hopefully I can be on this for a while. So as far as weight loss, I'm going to share with you on the screen my screen recording from when I weighed in this morning. I weigh in every morning, as pretty much as soon as I wake up after I use the bathroom, and don't like get a bunch of clothes on. And so, yeah, this is my weigh in from this morning. And as you will see, it's showing a higher weight than last week's video. So currently the lowest weight that I've hit since starting Mounjaro is 239.8, which was last week's weight. And at the time I started my Mounjaro journey, I was 267 pounds. So I have lost, was that 28 pounds so far, which I am super happy about. This week, with this happens to me pretty much every week, is I kind of go up a little bit, back down a little bit, up a little bit, back down a little bit. And I usually don't see the weight loss happen until like a day or two before injection day. So this week I had some kind of stressful emotional things going on. I think it probably contributed to my cortisol levels being like spiked, and my inflammation acting up, because I really experience when I'm under any kind of stress that it definitely reflects in my weight and lack of weight loss, and um, inflammation and things like that. So that situation has been resolved. So I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to report another weight loss next week, or another weight loss lower than the 239.8. If you're interested in seeing what kind of scale I use, you can look in the description box down below, and I have a link to my Amazon storefront, and you can find the scale in there. I really love having it. I love being able to use the app, and I explained to you in last week's video how I'm not filming the actual weigh-in with my phone looking down on the scale, because you can't see past my belly right now. So having the app is really great, and also with, at least with my iPhone, I'm able to screen record it, which is really cool, because I love being able to show you guys like some of those actual details that I look at. And that I really like that about a smart scale, that it's not just giving you your weight, it's giving you all sort of other data. And I'm a data girl when it comes to this. That's why I weigh myself every day, and it doesn't bother me to weigh myself every day. I don't feel It doesn't bother me if for example, this morning it's showing on the scale that I went up in weight, but I know that's not the case, because if anything, last week, because of the zero food noise and the fantastic appetite suppression, last week I know that there were days where I probably should have eaten more and I didn't. So, and honestly, that could be why too, that I didn't actually lose weight, because my body does not do well with too much restriction. I know a lot of people think like calories in, calories out, that as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you will absolutely lose weight. And I'm here to tell you, as me, that is not the case. Of course, I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor, and you should definitely always speak to your trusted physician regarding anything to do with, starting any type of weight loss journey or what type of meal or what type of plan would be best for you. But I know that with my doctors and I, this is what we have determined is the best for me is I'm not living a life of any restriction. I'm just observing more of a diabetic plate type of mentality. And if I am craving something that is considered maybe not so healthy, that it's okay because I'm living balanced. And I think just that alone has just given me, I don't know, just kind of freed my mind. And I don't have that obsession like I did when I was on other like super restrictive, trendy diets. It's like if you sit there and tell me that I can't have this, uh, that's going to make me want it even more, right? I think most of us are like that. So, that's pretty much the update. It was a pretty good week. I'm hoping next week is just as good. Hopefully see that weight loss. And I would consider this week a win in my book. So I'm going to take my injection really quick. I like to include my injection moment for a couple reasons. One of them being maybe there's some people that are nervous out there about, what it's like taking one of these injections. I give you my honest reaction to how it feels and things like that. But overall, it's a very easy process and it has been amazingly worth it. So I'm hoping just to kind of ease anybody's fears if they have any of that. Just hoping to be able to relieve some anxiety in case there's anybody out there who is a candidate to start this type of treatment, but hasn't wanted to because they're nervous about it. And the other reason I like to share my injection every week is because it's one of my favorite moments of my week, injection day. And I want to share it with my friends. So let's get to it. And actually since my hubby is here, I think I'm going to have him help me. That way I don't have to hold up my bat wings all up close on camera. I'll just have him reach right behind me and show you what it's like when my hubby gives me my injection. And this is never a sight that I want to see. I'm on my last pen for this dose. I need to get my refill because, yeah, this makes me nervous. So, just get the pen out and I'm going to hand it off to my hubby. Hi, hubby.
Hi.
Oh, you don't need the microphone, but you need the alcohol wipe. And we got to remember to take the cap off. Oh my gosh, I will like have a meltdown if I forgot to take the cap off. Mm. So you guys, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I told you last week, but if in case you didn't see last week's video, it burns when I do it on my arm and when I do it on the front of my thigh. But honestly, I get the best effects when I take the injection in my arm or my thigh. I feel like when I use or when I inject in my abdomen, it doesn't hurt at all. I barely feel it. Sometimes I don't feel it at all, but I feel like I don't get the appetite suppression and I have more food noise. So the arm and the thigh, it is. Mm.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. It does. Okay, but that's it. That's it. Please don't be scared. It just hurts for literally like 2 seconds at the most. And it's worth it. It's worth it. So I know, as usual, my video is probably a little chaotic. I might sound a little chaotic. I am a little chaotic because now I need to get things together. I need to get a mini face painting kit together. That's what's behind me is my main face painting kit. I have a side hustle business that is for face painting, and I'm going to bring a little mini kit with me to take over to my family. So I can do some of the kiddos there. So, okay, week 4 on Mounjaro 7.5 mg begins. I will be back again next week to give you that update of how week 4 went, and we will move on to taking week 5 on 7.5 Mounjaro injection. So, before I leave, I just want to share with you maybe just a little bit of a reflection for this week. And I just have to say that coming into this holiday, most of you, I'm sure, know that Thanksgiving is one of the biggest food holidays of the year here in the US. And it just totally hit different this year. It really hit different. Coming into it, I wasn't like obsessing really about all the food I was going to eat. My mind was just calm. I came into it knowing I'm going to enjoy whatever I want to enjoy on Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving meal. And when I say I love Thanksgiving meal, I love the traditional Thanksgiving meal, except for green bean casserole. I don't like green bean casserole. However, this year I was able to have a little bit of all my favorites on that plate. And when I was done eating, I didn't feel like, and when I was done eating, I didn't have that feeling of just being so disgusted with myself and thinking like, what have I done? Why did I eat so much? Now I feel sick. All I want to do is just go sleep. I feel just so full and gross, um and even on top of feeling that way, I would still maybe go after another plate in an hour. Holidays used to stress me out, and I totally credit GLP-1 medication for just bringing a peace and a calm to my life when it comes to, holidays and eating. And I just want to encourage you, whether you are on a GLP-1 medication or you're just on a health journey of your own, that don't kick yourself if you, I guess, slip up. I don't even want to use that word, but maybe you ate too much and you're feeling, bad about it. Don't beat yourself up over that. Just move on, keep moving forward. Slow and steady truly is the way to win that race. So, friends, be kind to yourself today. And I will see you next week
I've seen a
for
lot of
another Mounjaro
change,
update.
been through a lot of
Bye.
pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.